Would you eat a burger made of bugs? Wait. What if it looked like this? Today we're making the treasure insect burger from Delicious in Dungeon. This burger was made with Senshi's delicious buns, and dungeon crawlers turned into a beautiful iridescent gem. I know I would, so let's get started. The first thing we need to make is the family jewels. This is a Japanese candy called kohakuto, a name which translates to amber sugar since they resemble precious gemstones like amber. To make the basic version of this, we only need 4 ingredients. Agar-agar. I recommend using the same one I use for consistency. Food coloring, natural, or artificial, because I like a little bit of cancer in my food, thank you very much. The finest tap water, and lots of sugar. And make sure to measure out all the ingredients, then realize as usual that I'm terrible at gauging sizes. In a small pot on medium heat, I add about 400 ml of water and sprinkle in half a pack of the agar-agar powder, which is about 12.5 grams. Once it starts simmering, I gently stir for 3 minutes until the agar-agar is fully dissolved. I make sure to avoid using a whisk or stirring too aggressively, as this will cause the agar to lose its adhesive quality. I then turn down the heat to low and add my sugar. I'm only stirring occasionally to prevent the sugar from burning, while making sure not to stir too much. Let the concoction cook for about 5 minutes, then we can check if the mixture is ready. I dip a pair of chopsticks into a pot, and if thin strings form between them, I know it's ready. Otherwise, I'll let it cook for a minute, then test again. Once it's done, I quickly remove the pot from the heat and let the mixture cool for a bit. Remember to skim the top layer because we don't want that kind of scum in our life. If we don't do this, the jewels we make later will be mixed with impurities or bubbles and it'll be too late to separate it out. Carefully pour the molten mixture into a heat-resistant container. I use a strainer here, but I don't recommend it. It's a real beach to clean. Add a few tiny drops of food coloring on different sections, then swirl with a teaspoon, toothpick, or plastic utensil to fully blend each color. I made the mistake of using a needle thermometer and really scratched up my Pyrex. Highly don't recommend. You can also leave streaks if you want that pattern, but I don't, so I'm mixing mine really well. Since I want uniform colors, before I start mixing a new color, I make sure to clean off the needle with some water and a paper towel to prevent mixing of colors. And make sure to do this quickly. We can see here that I wasn't moving fast enough, so some of the corners actually started solidifying. Try not to mix these parts in or else you get clumps. Once I was done with the base colors, I also tried creating gradient jewels by fusing different colors together. This is such a relaxing activity, I almost don't need therapy anymore. Once you're satisfied with your artwork, transfer it into the fridge to solidify over 1 to 2 hours.
2 hours later.
Once set, carefully transfer the jelly onto a parchment paper covered cutting block. I lightly oiled the glass container beforehand to make it easy to remove the agar blocks later. Is what I would like to say, but I totally forgot. Now I have to pay the price because the jelly is being hella stubborn, so I had to really try to coax it out. God bless, it finally came out the closet, so now we can turn it into jewels with a knife. Unfortunately, because I didn't refrigerate the jelly for long enough, it's really sticky and tore around the edges, so don't be like me. From round pieces, I found it helpful to use cookie cutters and then trim it with a knife. Excess bits and trimmings can be set aside to dry as clusters. Make sure to clean and dry your knife in between cuts so that we can keep the edges straight. For the gradient pieces, use the area in between colors to get some interesting ones. Be warned that crafting the jewels is a time-consuming process. It took me probably 2 hours each time to turn one sheet like this into multiple jewels. Definitely by whatever means, trick someone into helping you if you can. It's a lot of work, but I'm so proud because in the end it came out so pretty. If you're happy with the jewel, transfer it onto the parchment paper and let all of them dry in a well-ventilated area for at least 5 days. Over time, you notice a hard crust start to form on the outside. This is thanks to all that sugar we used. After the first day, unstick the gems from the parchment paper by lifting it up. This will help the bottoms of the gems dry faster and crystallize. You can dry these jewels for months to get a mega tough crust, but I'm not trying to break my teeth. So I only dried mine for about 2 weeks in total, and I think they're ready to go. Next, we're gonna make the slurpy liquid part of the jam. Initially, I was gonna make a proper jam for this. The plan was to cook down whole frozen green apples, strain them overnight for fresh apple juice, dye it, then turn it into a beautiful seafoam color apple jelly. And all was going so well until the Fire Nation attacked. The prolonged heating and temperature needed to firm up the jelly had distorted the blue dye and turned it into a brownish seaweed color. I could no longer use it, and 4 days of planning and work just went down the drain. It was back to the drawing board, and eventually I landed on an idea of a simpler slime-like jam to capture the look in the anime. It will also allow for me to make it in a few different colors to create that rainbow effect, so everything turned out for the better. The recipe is really quite simple. You only need 2 ingredients, colored liquid and tapioca starch. For the colored liquid, I'm using ramyun, a Japanese soda, but you can use any colored drink or juice. I have blue, purple, and a clear color to play with. You can use the full bottles or combine them in different ratios to make specific colors. Just make a note of the weight because you need 1/10 of the liquid weight for the tapioca starch. In a small pot, add your soda and tapioca starch. Stir to combine, then turn on the heat to low. Keep stirring and it eventually thickens into a paste. As we stir, the paste will eventually turn from whitish to more transparent in color. When it has this slime-like consistency, you can take it off the heat. Transfer it into a container and let it cool. It will continue to have this fun slime-like consistency for the day, but refrigerating it will cause it to harden into a boba-like texture. I made this purple one with blue and grape soda with a bit of water to lighten the color. This green one, which was my favorite flavor, was made with blue soda, apple juice, and a little bit of lemon juice. One pro tip is to make sure you don't have the liquid heating before you add the starch, or else you'll quickly form clumps like this that won't dissolve no matter what you do. There's no way to fix it, so you have to pick out the clumps one by one like a loser. I ended up with 5 different colors, and in a large clean jar, we can start recreating the jewel jam, starting with a layer of the transparent jelly. I know what it looks like, okay? Don't you dare say it. Add some jewels, using a mix of whole gems and shards to create variety. Layer a different suspiciously covered slime, then add more jewels. Keep repeating the layers until your jar is full. Last but not least, buns. In the mixing bowl, I add flour and other dry ingredients first. Then I crack 1 whole egg and pour about 85% of the milk in, leaving some for later. The Shikanoko antler video I made previously traumatized me with all the hand kneading, so I'm whipping out my ancient mixer today. It's not the best, so I'm honestly not super sure how the dough will turn out. I have it mixing at medium speed, and when the dough looks dry, I add a tiny bit of milk. When it's too wet, I add a little bit of flour. The goal is to get everything fully combined. To check if it's ready, stretch the dough, and if it forms a thick film like this, then we're good. This process should usually take about 5 to 10 minutes depending on the mixer speed, but my mixer is speeding up and slowing down randomly, so it took more time. Next, add in cube butter and mix again. Check to see if you can get a smooth dough that can form a thin film like this. I then shape the dough into a smooth ball by pulling the sides towards the bottom like this to form an asshole. Cover it with a damp towel and let the dough rise in a warm place until it doubles in size. Transfer the dough onto a non-stick work surface and take your stress out on it by punching out the gas built up in the dough. Weigh the dough and divide it into 4 equal parts. Using the same asshole no jutsu as before, I shape each piece into a round ball and shape it with my hand like this to ensure maximum roundness. Whip up 1 egg and gently brush 1 even layer onto buns as closely as you can to the bottom to get a glossy finish. Make sure to wipe up any drips formed on the bottom and cook the rest of the egg because we can't afford not to in this economy. Bake at 365 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes or until golden brown on top. I got a bit overzealous and brushed a few too many layers of egg wash, which unfortunately made the brush strokes stand out. In the previous batch, I only used 1 layer and it was a lot less streaky. Unfortunately, that batch was just too flat, so I didn't use them. Now that the buns are done, Let's plate up! In the looks department, I'm quite happy with how everything turned out. The jewels have been drying for 2 weeks and has developed a nice crunchy sugar crust. But how does it taste? I think I would really like this if I was like 12. The sugar crust texture is fun, but it tastes mostly of sugar with some varied flavoring added by the slime jam. It reminds me of my childhood snack of sugar with butter on white bread, or if you're Australian, fairy bread. Oh no! I recommend toasting the bread dry and adding some hot butter before layering on the jewel jam to improve the flavor. Realistically, this is something I made for fun, but I don't really see myself making it for the taste. The jewels themselves can be kept as decor indefinitely as all the sugar acts as a preservative, but still, promise me not to eat old jewels or feed them to unexpected dungeon dwellers. Well, if you enjoyed watching this video, maybe check out some other delicious and dungeon recipes. Until next time, bye!